Backstage with Mothership on Solid Rock Radio begins now. Hear the best in new music, artist interviews, stories from the road, and more. You are now backstage, and here's your host, Mothership.
Hey everybody, today's show focuses on one of my favorite festivals of the year, Kingdom Come Festival. Angie's joining us today, and we're going to have a guest later, Jarob Bramlett of The Protest, to give us a little taste of what it's all about. You won't want to miss this. I'll see you there. No tickets needed. It's a free festival. Angie from Kingdom Come Festival, please tell me when it is and where it is so the people will know.
Sure. It's Father's Day weekend, but not Father's Day. So it's June 13th, 14th, and 15th. And it's in Greentown, Indiana at the Howard County Vietnam Veterans Organization grounds. It's been our home there for quite a while now.
Yeah. And y'all have a little special relationship with them. Tell people a little bit about that.
You know, we had talked about the Holy Spirit tsunami that happened in downtown Kokomo, and it was the next year that we had to move, which kind of tells me the enemy didn't want us down there. You know, we're making some impact, and he didn't like it.
For those of you who have not heard my previous interview with Angie, she's referring to a movement of the Holy Spirit that happened during one of the festivals.
We met up with the veterans, and someone said we should try talking to them, and we did, and we went in and pled our case. You know, we're a very outcast-driven organization, and that kind of connected with them. But then on a personal level, Jay and I, Jay is my brother, our co-founder. Our dad was a Vietnam veteran that abandoned us basically. And so to be able to come, you know, here and have them treat us like family, and, you know, it's kind of a full circle, you know, personal thing for us. And it's beautiful, actually. It's been wonderful. I love them so much. Every one of them out there.
It's a great area, too. It's got enough space for everything that you need.
Yep, it does.
But it's not too sprawled out.
Right. And camping, that was one of the things that we did miss when we were in downtown Kokomo. We couldn't have camping. Mm-hmm. So just made it easier. Nobody has to leave if they don't want to. You know, we've got the food, we've got the, you know, place to stay for free. So
I believe you guys are the largest free Christian festival out there.
That's what I've heard. I can't say I've done any research on it, but one person said we were the largest one in North America. And I said, oh, wow, are you sure? He's like, yeah, as far as focusing on rock, absolutely. Like, okay.
We'll take it, right? So yeah. We were talking the evening of the 13th, all day on the 14th, all day on the 15th, absolutely free.
Yep.
You just show up, bring your people with you, and enjoy your family. I mean, this is a very family-friendly place. You're at a family reunion when you go there every year.
We hear that all the time, and it really is. And somebody mentioned they wondered if it was because we're a family unit that put this event on, so it just kind of carried over. You know, because Chris and Jay are the co-founders, and myself. Chris is my uncle, and then my brother Jay, and then my husband Dave is our tech director, and then just kind of splayed out from there. And we're all very close. And then we just kind of suck people into the ministry. It's like once you start, you're just kind of stuck. So Cindy's been sucked in. Cindy's part.
Yes, absolutely. Dan and I have been sucked into the family. Even though your festival is free, it does cost to put it on. And there are a lot of great ministries behind it. You have a lot of donors, but private people can also donate. So if you have a heart for this kind of thing, I encourage you to go donate. There'll be links on their website, but also on the landing page on Solid Rock Radio. But tell us some of the ministries that are involved that help sponsor.
As far as sponsoring, there's really not a lot that sponsor financially. You know, a lot of churches feel like this is all devil music, so they don't be a part. And then, you know, secular businesses don't want to do too much because it's, you know, religious or whatever. So, but there's a few. There's a handful that have been very faithful. Hughes Truck Repair is one. Family Worship Center, Woodland Church of God. Extended Hands is a new nonprofit. He sponsors the concessions. Well, of course, the Veterans Grounds. And there's some that they trade sponsorship for the use of things like with Sunbelt and so forth. So saving us money by not having to spend it because they donate the use of things. So Hands of Hope is a new one. And Come As You Are Ministries, that Dee Dee and Brian McCowan are in charge of. There's just those are the big ones. Those are the ones that we're going to put on the banners and stuff. But honestly, Cindy, a lot of this is crowdfunded. Like if I were to give a percentage, I would say more than half of this is probably, because of donations from individuals that just believe in it and want to be a part of it and plant seeds and stuff. There's been a couple of donations that have come through and they've been like $5 and $10. And that touches my heart so much because I think about like the widow with the pennies. They're given what they can to, I don't know. That just gets me when I see donations just that small. I love the big ones too, obviously, but knowing somebody's given just whatever they can to help this festival is just heartwarming to me.
That's amazing. Let's go over a few practical things. What can people expect in the way of concessions?
Well, Phil's the master of the pulled pork nachos.
Yeah.
And so it's the kind of the typical stuff, the burgers, the dogs, the nachos. And then he does a lot with pulled pork. And last year he started adding barbacoa street tacos to the mix.
Ooh.
There's some other things we've kind of been talking about. So he might add in a few other surprises this year. And we also have breakfast out there. Last year they did breakfast burritos. We talked about doing some kind of breakfast sandwiches this year, and then they'll have muffins and Texas cinnamon rolls and things like that, juice, coffee.
Yeah. Well, the food is delicious and there's plenty to choose from, but they can bring their own food in if they would like, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, making some money is nice so we can continue what we're doing, but for us, it's about the experience for the attendee. So if they want to bring their own tiny propane grill and their own food, that's completely fine. We just want you to have a good time.
Amen. Tell a little bit about what campers can expect.
Well, so a lot of times we'll get a question like, is there room for, big travel trailers and stuff? And yes, there is. You just have to understand that there's no electricity out there and no water hookups. So if you have a little generator you want to bring, that's fine, as long as it's not super loud. There are a few showers out there. When I went to Cornerstone one year, I just slept in the back of my minivan, took a little mattress and slept out there. So you can do it however you want to do, but there's plenty. We have not even come close to filling up the campground yet.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Good deal. You guys have always had a lot going on in that massive merch area under that tent.
Well, we had a nice area for the merch.
Uh-oh.
The veterans are not putting up the really, really big tent this year. Some straight line winds came and ripped down the one that they had.
Oh, no.
So insurance replaced it, but they're planning to sell it so they can make money to build a building on that concrete pad instead. And that's fine. I mean, they got to do what's right for them. Right. I mean, they're so gracious and let us use their, the venue anyway. And it's their home. I'm not going to tell them or even hint to them what to do with their home. So we're going to have to rent a couple of tents. And so we're probably going to have to split up the merch from like other ministries where we had them all in there together. But those bands, I mean, most of them come stocked with all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. We actually are thinking about doing a silent auction again this year. We always do a big poster, right? All the bands as they come in sign the poster. And then we auction it off to help raise money for the festival. If things go according to plan, I think I've talked some of the bands into donating something a little more unique and fun and personal from some of the bands, like the top 4 of each night maybe, and the headliners for the subculture stage. And so there might be some other fun surprises for people to auction on this year. So
that sounds intriguing.
Yeah. We are actually going to have a kids area this year. It won't be open the whole time. Jen Lamaris is going to head up a little kids area for us this year. And she's got just all kinds of fun little things planned, and including like making coloring pages of bands logos and stuff, which I thought was kind of fun.
Nice.
And photo booth area, and some games. And so she's got some things. Now it won't happen the whole time. Like I said, there'll just be certain hours because Jen wants to go and watch the shows too. But that'll be a fun little addition. And because there's the kids, we all have to watch all the kids because they tend to want to go play and run around in the memory garden that's in the back of along the fence where the big flag hangs. That is like very, very, very important, almost sacred to the vets. So we thought, well, let's try to have something a little bit more for them to maybe do this year. And so Jen came up with this idea and said she'd run it. And I'm like, done, sold. That's you.
Perfect.
Go right ahead. Tell me what you need.
The protest has been involved in Kingdom Come Festival for many years. Joining us for this segment is our good friend, Jarob Bramlett. How many years has it been, Jarob?
We've been there 14 years now. Every year besides the very first one.
Well, how did you know about it, and how did you get to be part of it way back when?
Yeah, so I was just a youngster. We had a show in Indianapolis in the basement of this church, and it was a really awesome show. It was the Letter Black, Icon for Hire, us, and Forever at Last, I think. And so
I think Blank Pages were there too that night.
Oh, Blank Pages was there. Okay, that might be why you guys went, because you were friends with them, right?
Well, I think the reason we went to that show was because that second year we asked the Letter Black to headline KCF, and they were close, so we wanted to go meet them and, get a feel for what the show and what they were like and stuff. And so that was a God moment, because not only do we get to meet them, and of course we got really close to the people in Icon and Blank Pages and these Protests for Pluto dudes, that's to meet all of them.
I remember that night, and I remember at the time we were kind of managed by Josh's mother-in-law, Lisa, and he was there, and she said that exact thing. She said, I think it's a God thing tonight. And lo and behold, 14 years later, I think it was.
Yeah. Y'all have a lot of history. Now, y'all kind of live in that area, correct?
Yeah, we're probably an hour or an hour and a half from Kokomo.
How did you choose the protest, or did the protest choose you?
Well, probably. I mean, they're, as you know, once you meet them, you just absolutely fall in love with them. Like you can't not love them.
This is true.
And so, if I had to guess, though, it's probably Jay that took more of a lead in saying, we like you, we want you, and I mean, truthfully, that night when we met him, we saw him, saw their heart. Lisa probably had a lot to do with connecting things too. She was really involved. And it's just, we tell people all the time, if a ministry can have a best friend as a band, it would be the Protest for us. And we've just collaborated on so many things in our Christmas outreach, and I honestly cannot imagine doing anything like that without them. I really can't.
Jarob, what is one thing you think people need to know about KCF?
We play a lot of music festivals, but I think KCF is if maybe our favorite show of the year. And I think it's because the festival just has a different vibe than the rest. Anyone that goes will say there's a family atmosphere there. So I mean, it's definitely awesome. A lot of bands, a lot of great things, but just like the unity that's felt there, and the camaraderie, and just the love, I think too. So I think, like if you go, you're gonna immediately feel like family, I think, and you're not gonna feel like an outcast, and you can meet everybody and meet the bands, and it's really just a really unique experience. I can't hype it up enough.
Yeah, I agree. Is there any story that might stand out the most from your years? Of course, there's a lot of years you've got in there, but there's like a story that comes to mind when you think of KCF, either from y'all being on the stage or just something in general.
There's been a few. The one that sticks out, I guess, right now is one of the first years we were there, or the first 5 years we were there. I don't know. There was a woman that was struggling deeply internally, and she rushed the stage, got past security or whatever, and we were singing a song. It's about like dying to yourself, and I think Josh might have described that before we played it. And she rushed the stage and just grabbed Josh and said, "I'm afraid to die." She's on the stage, and so right then and there we just stopped playing, and we start praying for her. And Josh and her hit their knees, and the rest of the crowd was praying. And it was just a powerful moment again of just how the family unit there is like, we're all in this together, and we all have struggles, and so we're just praying together and for her. And But there's been a lot of moments like that. Angie probably has all the stories of awesome God things, you know.
That's the night that Jay refers to as the Holy Spirit tsunami that hit. Because right before you guys, the protest took the stage, Trevor Hyde had everybody in the park on their knees praying. And then the protest take the stage. And then that girl, you know, the situation, that girl happened. And then I think Tank from Nine Lashes got up and did an impromptu altar call. And the whole front step was filled with people rededicating their lives and, you know, and accepting Jesus. That night was just crazy. As a matter of fact, I did a podcast with someone else not that long ago, and they said that the thing that drew them to want to be involved with KCF was the picture that we post all the time of Josh and that girl on the stage praying.
Very cool.
And from how many states away they see that picture and it does something and draws them in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, you're going to be direct support for Ashes Remain on Saturday. What are you expecting from the festival this year, and are you excited about that place in the lineup?
Yeah, super excited. I love Ashes Remain. Their shows now are kind of few and far between, and so it's a treat, I think, that they're there. And so I hope everyone listening and everyone that knows that realizes that, hey, this might be one of the few chances you get to see them this summer. So please come out. I don't know. This year is going to be special as always. We have a few surprises that we're going to do. And I can't say too much, but I'm really excited. The lineup is killer and it's going to be great.
Is there anybody in the lineup you've not seen before or you're excited to meet, Jarob?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Brutality again this year.
Dude, yeah, they made it to main stage.
I've been a fan of theirs, and last year they blew me away. So
yeah, absolutely. They're one of my favorites too.
Cindy watched their set last year and walked straight to me after it was over and said, "You need to put them on the main stage." That kind of stayed with me, and it worked out.
Well, honestly, it's their hard work that got them there. They're amazing. I didn't need to slip any money to her or anything, guys. You did it.
No. I mean, it's okay if you do, but, you know, not for that.
Well, I do slip you pudding. Does that help?
Yes. Pudding helps.
I hope that does help. And we will have pudding. So, Jarob, is there an update that you can give us on the protest before you go?
Yeah, we're working on new music. We have some new stuff coming soon. And then shortly after KCF, we might be calling on the fans for some help as well as a fundraiser thing with some incentives that they can be invited into, I guess, to be a part of this. Yeah, it's hard for me to say too much right now because I don't know how much I can say, but just know that new things are on the horizon, and thanks for your patience.
Awesome. Well, thanks for popping into the interview for a while, and I'm going to spend a little bit more time with Angie talking about the lineup, but thank you for your time and for putting a good word in for KCF. Did we miss anything, or is there any last words you'd like to share about KCF before you go?
I guess I'll just leave you guys with whoever's listening that KCF truly is our favorite show of the year. There's something special about it, so I just encourage you to come. And just experience it for yourself. And I would love to meet you. We're always out by our merch table and walking around and watching the bands. And so there's not really a ton of places for bands to hide there. So it's going to be great. Yeah. Please come out. Yeah, we love you guys.
Thanks, Jarob.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jarob. Thank you so much.
No problem. See you.
Bye.
Now that it's just you and me again, why don't you give us a little rundown on the main stage and then the subculture stage and what that means?
Yeah, so it's kind of started with just there's so many bands that want to play, and we just can't have everybody. And trying to bring in people that we know are heavy ministry, because this is a ministry first festival. So, I mean, you could probably find people equally good, but not really better than Disciple and The Protest and Chaotic Resemblance and, you know, the way that they minister, the way they do from the stage. And so we want to make it heavy ministry, but at the same time bring in some new blood and kind of change things up a little bit. And we just got to a point where it kind of was looking like the same festival and the same people. So let's do a second stage. And I think, honestly, I don't know if it was our idea or if maybe the first year was a group of like Sean Browning and Dave Osborne, or Asher Lesser, and Tony Padilla before he passed, and a couple others thought about, well, maybe we can put a stage together for them. And so that was kind of born out of that. And then each year it's been tweaked and somebody else has been taking it over. So this year, the subculture community that goes to audio feed and all that, they're helping out. They've partnered with us and 80 Windblown Media Records, and we're going to do a slightly different thing. I mean, we have a lot of rock, obviously, on the main stage, but those bands are usually can be more out of the box, than what we do on the main. Because the main stage, we want to make sure that there's something for everybody that comes out on the grounds. So that's why during the day, we'll have the pop, the rap, the punk, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then as the day goes on, we increase the energy and for the most part, and bring in the rock and the heavier stuff. So, and the subculture stage will pretty much for the most part, they'll stay pretty heavy or non-mainstream stuff for sure.
Okay. Your kickoff on Thursday night starts later in the evening. So really, if somebody's working, they could probably come if they're in the area after work and not miss too much on Thursday night.
Right.
And that was something you added, like you had said before, because there were just too many bands. It bled over into another day.
Yes.
Thursday night is only on main stage, right?
They're considered main stage bands, but they'll play on the subculture stage, because what happened was we were thinking, there's somebody that want to play, and I feel awful. I'm telling you, Cindy, every year I am in tears because I feel bad telling them all they can't, how many they can't play. And so I asked the guys, I'm like, can we just do like just a few on Thursday night, get them a few more? But what happens is the main stage production is being set up Thursday night. Mm. So while the main stage is being set up, then we just, make use of the stage that's already there. I mean, why not have a kickoff on the subculture stage or whatever? Last year it was the Redemption stage. The year before was the Capstone stage. But, why not? Why not have more? And the first year we did it, we were really surprised how many people came out to that, especially last year. I was like, wow, there's a lot of people out here. So they must like it. And they like an excuse, I think, to come out and start things early on Thursday night,
Yeah, yeah. Give us a few notables, headliners, and your direct support. You want to just name off a few bands?
Oh, yeah. We are really, really excited about this lineup this year. I mean, every year we say this is the best year and this is the best year. And, but we've had so many awesome, amazing bands that have come out, and it's very humbling when bands like these want to come back or will reach out again the next year, And so, Ashes Remain is our headliner for Saturday night, and they actually, if I'm not mistaken, were supposed to be the headliner the night of the Holy Spirit tsunami, and I think Nine Lashes maybe was direct support, and I think because the tsunami took over, they both had to cut their sets to like 20 minutes or something because we had a noise ordinance, so we had to follow. And they were so fine doing that, and Josh Smith, from Ashes, he would talk to Jay about it a lot, how much KCF means. And so we're just so thrilled that it worked out for them to come again this year. They were slated to come last year and something happened and I can't remember what. So having Josh and the guys from Ashes back means a lot. And then the Protest, direct support for them is going to be just its usual,
chef's kiss.
Wonderful. Yeah. You can't, like I said, you just don't get better than that stuff. Then let's see. And then Zana's coming back. I love her so much. Mm-hmm. Convictions. I mean, Behold the Beloved. I mean, the whole top of the night for Saturday is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friday we got Disciple and Spoken's coming back.
Yay.
Chaotic Resemblance, Amongst the Giants, Brutality, Living Scars. I mean, it's just, I don't know how we're this blessed. I mean, I really don't. That these people want to come.
This is top notch right here.
Yeah. And then Relentless Flood coming in to close out the kickoff for us. And then 13 Minutes. And then some of these newer ones, Devin Williams is coming from pretty far, I think. The thing that we're doing this year, there's two things we're doing new this year. well, 3 actually, if you want to know a few things. We were having issues with the encore show, right?
Right.
So what our goal was to just recreate what Cornerstone would do late at night. So late at night, Flatfoot 56 would put on a show in a tent, and they would have a theme like Shark Week. And then everybody would show up with flippers and scuba gear. It was absolute insanity. Or Grave Robber would, the first time I saw Grave Robber was a late show at Cornerstone. Or Flatfoot 56 did like toga night one night. I mean, just leper, white collar sideshow. I mean, all these different bands. And so that's what we were trying to do, was recreate that kind of a feel. And I don't know if we're just getting old or what, but people don't, they wouldn't stay up.
Yes.
They wouldn't stay up to go to the encore shows. And so then we started calling it the midnight show, because that would maybe get people's expectations in the right spot. Yeah, that didn't really help a lot either. So what we're going to do this year, because it takes probably about an hour between the direct support and the headliner to get ready.
Yeah.
We're going to scoot people over to the subculture stage to see the headliner over there, and then come back. So there's a lot more opportunity for people to see them. It won't push anything back. It'll just have them starting a little bit sooner. It's kind of nice to have built-in gaps of time, because we always end up behind.
Yeah, I'll be able to catch up maybe.
And then if people want to go back and forth, they can. If they don't, Trevor Hyde's going to do some speaking on the main stage. And he's going to have a couple of breakout sessions this year and do some speaking, and a skate demo on Saturday. Trevor's skateboard demo is just going to be where the Surrender was. So we're not replacing any bands really. So those will be new. So we've got Theo Taryn is going to be headlining the subculture stage one night, and then Greg Robber the other night.
Wow.
So it's going to be really neat. And then we also have a spot, if things work out the way we planned. D Swan is going to have his DJ stuff. This is not my bag. I don't know what to call it. He's going to have it all set up and ready, stage side, hopefully on one of the little platforms that's out there. And then so every once in a while, through some band changeovers, he's going to be doing some DJ stuff and keep the crowd pumped. And so it's going to be, I'm excited to see if and how these kind of things add to it this year.
That sounds great. I think you're some really positive changes there. Well, I know you guys need money to pull this thing off, but I sure hope this interview will encourage some people to not just attend, but to also invest in Kingdom Come Festival. And of course, we can all pray for the festival and for folks to be reached during this weekend.
And that's just perfect. And it's wonderful. And we need the money because we're in a real world, but it's more about getting people out there to just see what God's love supposed to look like.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll see you later this week.
Yay. Can't wait. Oh my gosh. I'll be ready. Pray for me.
I will be praying for you. All right. Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more great music, and check out my blog page on the Solid Rock Radio website for my guests' social media links. If you've missed any of my past interviews, you can find them uploaded to podcast.solidrockradio.org. Have a wonderful week, and let's be kind to one another.